Hello guys and welcome back to the Traitors US Season 2, and today we're talking rankings. It's finally here, the final ranking I have to do at the moment. I've ranked the other 5 series that I've watched. It's just this final one now. It's kind of sad that it's almost over. We've got to wait ages and ages for new Traitors content, but that does mean that we're on to some new and exciting things. So if you guys are enjoying, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. If you are a long-time fan of the channel, then there is a possibility of a membership that you can join. There will be some content updates as well as daily posts by me letting you know what's going on, what's happening with videos. Sometimes if it's up early, you'll get to view the video early, as well as having access to a host of badges and emojis in the comment section. So if that is something that interests you, make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to make just a little bit of money off of the Dance Mom videos because they are currently all being copyright claimed, so I can't make a penny off of them, which is fantastic. So if you guys are enjoying the content, like I said, make sure to subscribe. And now there's more ways to do it. Right, we are going to get straight into the ranking, and we're going to start with Johnny Bananas. Yeah, just not enough time, sadly. I don't think he actually did anything in this series. He was killed on the first night, so it was a pretty poor showing, but like, not his fault at the end of the day. Peppermint, again, not enough time. I feel like the game was against her from the start, and she just didn't manage to get out of the gate. She was the first person banished through no fault of her own, if I'm being 100% honest, but it is unfortunate all the same. Next up, we have Marcus, I think his name was. Yeah, not enough time. I just didn't vibe with him, and the same with Max, and the same with Deontay. I didn't feel like I had any kind of connection to any of these 5 people because they were all gone within the first 2 episodes. We lost 5 people in the first 2 episodes. That is crazy. No, maybe 3 episodes. Yeah, no, it was the first 3 episodes. But still, I just feel like I didn't get to know any of them. It's a shame because I feel like some of these people could have been genuinely good competitors. But alas, they just weren't there for it. And I'm sorry, but I could only give you so much. You've got 3 episodes. Make your impact. Make your mark. Ekin-Su, I'll put her in the meh got lucky section. I don't feel like she did anything, unfortunately, but I feel like we had enough time with her to give her a little bit of a rating that was higher than not enough time. I feel like she could have flourished if she'd have had longer, and if she hadn't have been targeted by Parvati for the murder in plain sight. I feel like she would have gotten a lot further in the competition because I don't think Parvati would have wanted to, not Parvati, Phaedra would have wanted to kill her off. So she actually might have been really, really useful down the line. But either way, you got to hand it to them. Good job. Well done. Larsa. Part of me wants to put Larsa in poor player. I just felt like she was very outspoken. She didn't really have any real ideas about what was going on. Am I right in saying that she suspected Dan because he was quiet? Because if so, I might put her there. Because I feel like she didn't do a lot. She was banished because she looked guilty all the time. And she was just very outspoken and loud, and it didn't really work out in her favour, unfortunately. It just was a bit, I won't lie. I can't be backing her when she's like that and she's not actually being that interesting, if I'm being honest. And also, I just feel like she was part of the housewives cult, and I don't think that did wonders for her because Parvati called out the housewives, and that's what ultimately led Larsa to being like banished from the castle. So it's almost as if like there are parts of this show where cliques do not work. There are shows like Survivor and Big Brother where cliques do most definitely work. But this one, it's just not the same. Tamra. Where am I putting Tamra? Here? Here? Like, I don't feel like she made an impact on me as a viewer. I feel like there was no moment of the show where I was like, okay. It just didn't it never felt like she got her juices flowing before she was taken out of the game. And she was taken out of the game as a response to Larsa being banished, being like, oh, well, 2 of the housewives have gone. Ha 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 ha. Can't be the housewives anymore. And then it became the Bravo channel, and it was like, ugh. So we're just still in the same alliance. We've just added a couple of people to it. Okay, sure, whatever. So, yeah, I'd probably put her there. I don't feel like there's a better place for her, but who knows? I guess she'll stay there for now. Then we had Janelle. I'm going to put Janelle in did pretty well. She called out Dan pretty confidently. She knew it was him. She was rallying the troops. She did look a little bit suspicious by how much she always wanted a shield. But then again, I feel like that was more indicative of her as a faithful than her as a traitor. A traitor's not going to want to constantly put themselves in sort of the gunshot lines by getting a shield every single time. So I feel like she actually did play this quite well. I think if she'd have had longer in the game, she would have sussed the other 2 out as well. But she was pretty dead set on sending Dan home. Dan is going in poor player. Dan was quite possibly the worst traitor we've ever had. And that's saying something. I've seen some bad traitors in my time. Some horrendous traitors. Cody from last season of US wasn't great. Ash on UK season 2, love her to pieces. She's amazing on Twitter, but she weren't the best traitor. Then you have from Australia, I would argue Sam. I didn't think he was very good. I thought he was a very blatant traitor, and the fact that everyone kept on... Anyway, enough about him. I just didn't feel like he played the game very well. He made numerous mistakes. Like, normally I can forgive a traitor making 1 or 2 mistakes, and you'll see that a little bit later on. But Dan made about 3 grievous errors that just sealed his deal. The first one was the fact that whenever people were like, yo, who do you think it is? And he was like, I couldn't possibly tell you. I couldn't possibly tell you. I don't know. I don't know why he's got the voice of someone from The Hobbit, but you get what I mean. I just never felt like he had a backup plan. He was always Mr. Let's just stick with plan A and we'll go with it. And then he decided to try to kill Bergie, which backfired massively because Bergie had the shield and he realised that he had been pranked. Not pranked, but caught in a trap. It was just embarrassing because I thought, actually, how are you standing in that tower with 2 people telling you this is a trap and you go, nah, I want to kill him. I want to kill him. Yeah, no, it just wasn't working for me. And then his third one was going for Phaedra around the round table. That ended him quite swiftly. And it's a shame, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So up next we have Bergie. I would put Bergie in the did pretty well category. I feel like his inclusion in the Peter Pals really helped lift his game. I feel like without them, I don't know whether he would have been as good. But you've got to give him credit where credit's due. They managed to take out Dan. They managed to expose Parvati. And they were also on their way to getting rid of Phaedra as well. So, you know what? Big props to them. Bergie, you did a good job. I can't doubt that in the slightest. But you did a good job. Kevin... also, a pretty decent job. I won't lie. Like, I wasn't disappointed with his performance, if I'm being 100% honest. It was alright. It was good. It was fine. But yeah, it was alright. It just was what it was. But it's a shame because I feel like, once again, I feel like what stopped him from getting in the strong game is I felt like he was carried by his teammates in the Peter Pals. There were 3 very clear, strong people in that group, and then it was kind of like Bergie and Kevin. Which is a shame, but it is what it is. Next up, we have Parvati. I'm going to put Parvati at the top of did pretty well. Remember, the traitor rankings is significantly different to the faithful rankings, so if I put them above a faithful, they're technically 2 different charts. It's just I have them on one. So let's not be saying that Parvati did a worse job than Kevin, because Parvati's just in that section. So let's just leave it there. So anyway, I feel like Parvati did pretty well. I feel like she just made 1 error, in my opinion, and that 1 error was trying to recruit Peter. Her icy nature and the way she dealt with situations sometimes could be misconstrued, But it's just a case of she did the best she could. She survived till episode 8 of 12. No, 8 of 11. So I can't give her any less props than that. There were a couple of times where she managed to talk her way out of things. She managed to get Peter kind of on side, but not really, because he was trying to backstab her. It was just an uncomfortable, weird scenario with Parvati, but I feel like she did a good job anyway. I can't take that away from her, because she managed to last a decent way throughout the game, unlike Dan, who got kicked off at the halfway point. So, yeah. John Burkow, strong game. I can't fault him. He was really good. Very, very good round the round table. Spoke with complete and utter determination, vigour, and vim. Then we had some good strategy from him and the Peter Pals. I felt like he was an integral part of the Peter Pals. And he also made some good calls as well. He got Parvati out. He was one of the chargers of that lead, and the leaders of that charge. That was a weird mix around. So I feel like he did actually do a really, really fantastic job, and I really can't fault him for that. Like, I actually can't. He did a really, really good job. Peter, however, is getting our first legendary of the day. Mr. Peter from The Bachelor. I did not expect this level of gameplay from you. Like I said earlier, there were clearly 3 separate groups of people in this. You had the, like, Peter Pals. You had the gamers, who are the people who have been on Survivor, the challenge, whatever. And then you also had, like, the Bravo network and other people who were not really big of, like, the gaming side of reality shows. But Peter, he surprised me. He came in and I was like, yeah, he's gonna be naff. He's gonna be like the last Bachelor we had. What was his name? Oh no, actually, he was alright. I can't remember his name, but he was alright. Yeah, I didn't expect much from Peter. And then the shield trick, where he tricked Parvati and Dan into being like, yeah, get rid of Bergie. I was like, he's actually got some good moves. And his little group, of which he was the leader, sussed out all 3 of the traitors, which was crazy. Like, absolutely mind-blowing that they managed to get it so quickly. I don't think we've ever seen this on a TV show before, of the traitors. That's absolutely wild. And I feel like Peter just did an absolutely fantastic job from start to finish. Yes, he made some questionable decisions. Yes, I do understand that. But also, can you blame him? Can you blame him? He's iconic at the end of the day. He is iconic, but not quite as iconic as this lady here. Phaedra's getting our iconic status for the episode. Previous winners have included Kate. We've included Amanda. We've had from US 2. No, UK 2. I didn't have the iconic status back then, but the iconic status probably would have gone to, I don't know. I'll have to have a think about that. But Phaedra had so many amazing moments. She was the most entertaining. She was the most exciting. And I think she also made me want to keep watching, because I had no issue watching the series. In fact, I wanted to binge watch it, but I was keeping myself to 1 episode a night. It was fantastic. Every single episode, she would make me chuckle with the stuff that she'd say around the round table. She'd make me laugh. She'd make me be like, oh, God, come on, Phaedra, pull yourself together. It was just fantastic. Her one-liners at the round table when she was cutting people down, brilliant. I don't think we've seen eloquence like that. It was amazing. I was impressed. So yeah, I will definitely be rooting for Phaedra in the future. If she shows up on any of the other shows, I'd love her to show up on a Celebrity Big Brother. That would be great. But yeah, she absolutely smashed it. I was really impressed with her. And that leads us on to Sheree. I'll put Sheree at the end of did pretty well, if I'm being honest. I've got to. I don't feel like I can put her any higher, because I don't think she actually had a very strong game. But I think she was blinded by her loyalty to Phaedra. I think she was on board with the other guys being traitors. But with Phaedra, it seemed like she had a blind spot, and that's why I can't put her any higher. She did say in her exit interview that she sussed Kate out, but obviously it was too late by that point. So, I don't know. I don't think I can give her any higher than this, purely because I don't feel like she made any big power moves in the game, and that's what stops her from being any higher than did pretty well. Personally, that's how I feel about the situation. But that does lead us on to Sandra. And I'm putting Sandra in Legendary. I am going to give her credit where credit is due. Sandra played a game that we've not seen before. Sandra sussed out who she thought was traitors from the very beginning. She came up with, she thought Parvati, yep. She thought Sheree or Phaedra. So what did she do? She decided to get in with them, become their friends, be friendly with them, and keep them around until she needed to drop them at the end. It was a smart strategy. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. She quite literally did that. This is how she is a Survivor legend, because she has the tactics and the gameplay that we don't even think of. I would not think to hang out with the people that I trust the most in order for them to keep me around because they think that I'm trustworthy and that they think that I believe that they're fine. When she exposed that whole thing around the round table at the final one, I was like, she actually makes good points. The good points are being made here. I was really blown away and surprised because I was like, damn, Sandra's actually got a better handle on the game than I thought. Because going into the final, I was like, I don't know whether Sandra's played a very good game, you know. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I think she has. But also, I don't know. So, that was an interesting one. But that does bring us on to Kate, and I'm gonna put Kate in strong game. I'm not putting her in legendary. I'm not putting her in iconic because she's already gotten those statuses from the previous series. But the reason I'm putting her in strong game is I feel like she had good moves throughout the game. She sussed out the traitors very quickly. She worked out who it was. She wanted to keep Phaedra around to banish her at the final round table, so it looked like there was a traitor. She was just building everything up to make it look like there was only one traitor left, and then her hand was forced at the last minute to make a murder, exposing that there still was one traitor left. I still think she should have shot for MJ. If she had, she'd have been up here. But for now, she's in front of John Burkow because I feel like she had a good handle on the game. She made it past the final round table by fucking with people's brains, which I really appreciated. So you can't fault her for that. I was really impressed. MJ. I feel like MJ actually contributed nothing to this series in the nicest way possible, and I loved her being on this series. But there was absolutely no reason for her to be on this series. Absolutely no reason, in my professional, humble opinion. Yeah. I think that she again was very blind to Phaedra. She was willing to shoot on Dan quite early on, which was fine. So maybe I will move her up. No, I can't put her above anybody else in this. Maybe Sheree? I don't know. I just feel like she got to that final three and it was like, oh my god, they're gonna absolutely demolish her. And they did. And that leads us on to these two. I think Trishelle and CT deserve to go here. No. I'm going to put CT here. I'm going to put Trishelle here because I feel like Trishelle had a much better handle on the game than CT did. CT was very much not aware of what was going on until things were happening. Then he got onto Phaedra quite quickly, and then he got onto Kate afterwards. But Trishelle systematically eliminated each one. She was also the one that spotted Phaedra the first. So that was impressive. So I got to hand her that. Do I think that they snaked it out at the end? Yeah, I think they did snake it out at the end. But I still think it was a good effort regardless. So yeah, that is the ranking. Phaedra iconic, Peter, Trishelle, and Sandra are the legendaries. Strong game, Kate, CT, and John. And then everyone else below that. I don't feel like we actually had a lot of legendary players. I feel like those top three, even those top seven, including the first three, I'd happily see them again on another Traitor series. I thought they were all fantastic. They were all very, very good. I wish some of these people at the bottom would have gotten a chance to shine. I feel like Ekin-Su might have done something. I feel like Max might have done something. I feel like Peppermint might have done something. But alas, that is it. So thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Doing all those YouTube things that you guys do so well. But until then, keep on ranting. And I will see you guys later. Bye now.